So we're reading this book, An Open Heart. I'm on page 11, and it says the first paragraph down, still in the introduction. Non-violence does not mean that we remain indifferent to a problem. On the contrary, it is important to be fully engaged. However, we must behave in a way that does not benefit us alone. We must not harm the interests of others. Non-violence, therefore, is not merely the absence of violence. Is not merely the absence of violence. It involves a sense of compassion and caring. It is almost a manifestation of compassion. I strongly believe that we must promote such a concept of non-violence at the level of family as well as the national and international level. Each individual has the ability to contribute to such compassionate non-violence. See, we're all frightened of someone taking the piss, aren't we? You got someone and they're being a dick, and you're just like, oh, that guy's a dick, but I'm being a Buddhist, so I'll just let him keep coming in, eating all my food, and say, oh, that's all right. But I don't think he means that really, even though that's what my mind immediately flips to. How should we go about this? We can start with ourselves. We must try to develop greater perspective, looking at situations from all angles. Usually when we face problems, we look at them from our own point of view. We even sometimes deliberately ignore other aspects of the situation. Human nature, baby. Everybody does it. This often leads to negative consequences. However, it is very important for us to have a broader perspective. I think it depends on your personality, because someone like me, my mum's always done that to me, so I've been really upset about something and I've come in to seek nurturing, or and I've been told, have you thought about it from their point of view? And I've used to make me stop and think, I think, oh, whatever. And then I've been in a situation with a narcissistic personality, or a narcissistic group cult mentality, and I would be thinking, okay, so what am I doing wrong? And I would be taking the blame onto me. But actually, sometimes people are wankers, and you need to get a balance. But I suppose if you're still practicing trying to work out what their motivation is, you don't necessarily have to reach the conclusion the motivation's good. We must come to realise that others are also part of our society. We can think of our society as a body with arms, legs and parts of it. Of course, the arm is different from the leg. However, if something happens to the foot, the hand should reach down and to help. Similarly, when something is wrong with our society, we must help. Why? Because it is part of the body. It is part of us. We must also care for our environment. This is our home, our only home. It is true that when we hear scientists talk of the possibilities of settling on Mars or the Moon, if we are able to do so in a feasible, comfortable way, good. But somehow, I think it might be difficult. We would need a lot of equipment simply to breathe there. I think our blue planet is very beautiful and dear to us. If we destroy it, or if some terrible damages occurs because of our negligence, where would we go? So taking care of our environment is in our own interest. This reminds me of Brexit. I just don't know what we're going to do. I hope other people can sign up in the pandemic to bring in the harvest, because they weren't signing up before, were they? So maybe, at the threat of catching a disease, they'll all join up, hands up. I can't do it. Developing a broader view of our situation and expanding our awareness in themselves can bring about change in our homes. Sometimes due to a very small matter, a fight starts between husband and wife, or between parent and child. If you look at only one aspect of the situation, focusing merely on the immediate problem, then yes, it really is worth fighting and quarrelling. It's even worth divorcing. However, looking at the situation with more perspective, we can see that through there is a problem, there is a common interest. you can come to think, this is a small problem that I must solve by dialogue, not by drastic measures. We can thereby develop a non-violent atmosphere within our own family as well as within our own community. See, the thing is, and this is where I'm trying to work out, I do believe that a lot verbal dialogue doesn't always be lots of enlightened people having a quiet chat to each other and coming to a lovely discussion at the end of it. It's sometimes it's ugly, and people need to shout and feel pain and work through stuff, and I don't think this vibe that we're supposed to be all floating around is necessarily healthy. But I get it. I mean, let's face it, if you could sit down, have a quick chat, nice little blah blah blah, oh yes, I see your point of view, you see my point of view, then of course it is better, isn't it? But you do that with my kids, please. Someone come over, you have a go, I dare you. Another problem we face today is the gap between rich and poor. In this great country of America, your forefathers established the concepts of democracy, freedom, liberty, equality, and equal opportunity for every citizen. These are provided by your wonderful constitution. However, the number of billionaires in this country is increasing while the poor remain poor. In some cases, getting even poorer. This is very unfortunate. You see, the coronavirus doesn't care how much money you've got, does it? You could be walking in some highfalutin area trying to do a bit of shopping, bump into someone with no money who can't escape the virus because they've got to work all the time, and you've got it. Getting even poorer. This is very unfortunate. On the global level as well, we see rich nations and poor ones. This is also very unfortunate. It is not just morally wrong, but practically it is a source of unrest and trouble that will eventually find its way to our door. Yes, exactly. Ever since I was a child, I had often heard about New York. I felt that it must be like heaven, a beautiful city. In 1979, when I first visited New York at night, after having fallen into a nice peaceful sleep, I would be awakened by the noise. Doo, doo, doo. Sirens. I realised that there was something wrong here and there, fires and other problems. Also, one of my elder brothers, who is no longer alive, would tell me of his experiences of living in America. He lived a humble life, and he told me of the troubles, the fears, the killings, the theft, rape that people endured. These are, I think, the result of economic equality in society. It is only natural that difficulties arrive if we must fight day by day in order to survive, while another human being equal to us is effortlessly living in a luxurious life. This is an unhealthy situation. As a result, even the wealthy, the billionaires and the millionaires, remain in constant anxiety. I therefore think that this is a huge gap between rich and poor, and it's very unfortunate. Some time ago, a wealthy Bombay family came to visit me. The grandmother had a strong spiritual inclination and was requesting some sort of blessing from me. I told her, I cannot bless you. I have no such ability. And then I told her, you are from a wealthy family and this is very fortunate. It is the result of your virtuous deeds in the past. The rich are important members of society. You use capitalist methods in order to accumulate more and more profit. You should now use socialist methods to help you provide poor people with education and health. We must use the dynamic methods of capitalism for making money and then distribute it in a more useful, meaningful way to others. From a moral as well as a practical point of view, this is a much better way of bringing about change in society. In India, there exists a caste system. This kills me, this caste system. Members of the lowest caste are sometimes referred to as untouchables. Oh, to be untouchable, how awful. In the 50s, the late Dr. Bimaro Ambedkar, a member of this caste and a great lawyer who was India's first Minister of Law and the author of the Indian Constitution, became a Buddhist. Hundreds of thousands of people followed his example. Though now they consider themselves Buddhists, they continue to live in poverty. Economically, they are extremely poor. I often tell them, you yourselves must make an effort. You must take the initiative with self-confidence to bring about changes. You cannot simply blame the members of higher castes for your situation. So for those of you who are poor, those who come from difficult situations, I strongly urge you to work hard with self-confidence to make use of your opportunities. I do really, I think as I get older, I've started to understand that lack of confidence, self-confidence, is the biggest invisible obstacle to progress. But, you know, you've got the odds stacked against you. You're only a kid. The richer people should be more caring towards the poorer ones, and the poor should make every effort with self-confidence. How long have I got? Okay. Thank you very much.